What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Marcus. This is my first video I'm putting out on YouTube. I'm excited. As you can see by the title, this is my top 5 QB rankings for the 2022 NFL Draft. So the draft coming up. A very intriguing class with QBs. Um, some people will call this a Rika class. That's fair. um, but it's still some very notable names and some very intriguing prospects in this QB class. And if you're a team that needs a QB, if you're a team that has a aging quarterback already that's on the downslope, you're looking to get a QB probably in this draft. There's a couple options out there that you should probably take notice of. And without further ado, let's dive into it. So before we even jump into the top 5, I got some guys that are right outside of my top 5. And I know there's one big name that a lot of you guys see. You probably just like, what? This guy's in your top 5? And yeah, like, I don't think he is a top 5 QB in this class, and that's Matt Corral. Matt Corral is a very intriguing prospect that I feel like is getting overhyped by a lot of people. When you just look at him as strictly a quarterback, I just don't see the tools. I don't see the traits that scream to me franchise type quarterback that scream to me consistent starter in this league. I feel like he has some great things that he can do. Like, he's a great athlete. He's a very dynamic type of player for the QB position. But when I just look at him as a quarterback and the intangibles you need as a quarterback, he doesn't have it to me. He doesn't have the IQ, the just the passing accuracy, and just sometimes I just don't know where he's going with the ball. Like, I don't know why he's making that throw. I don't know why he's doing the things that he does. And then the other thing for me is the play style. His play style does not suit the NFL game. He's not gonna last, being a physical runner like he tries to be at his size, like barely 6 feet, barely 200 pounds. And he's trying to, run through linebackers in the college level. And, we all saw him get hurt in their bowl game. Like, him playing the way he plays is not just gonna lead to, a lot of a lot of good nights. It's gonna be a lot of, you know, I don't wish injuries on anybody, but he's just not gonna be able to hold up at his size. Um, and like I said, I can see him as a nice, change of pace type quarterback, a gadget guys you see like in like Taysom Hill and even like a Marcus Mariota is two guys who I kind of see him kind of being at NFL level. But anything other than that, I really don't see it, man. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. I said, to me, he's a second round, third round type of guy. I mean, I would take him in third, I guess. I mean, he's not. I wouldn't take him first round for sure, but yeah, I mean, I think he's a weapon that could be used in the right way. But as far as like franchise quarterback, he's not it for me. Um, the next guy though, Jack Cohn, I do like Jack Cohn a lot. Uh, I feel like for a lot of the opposite things that I said for Matt Corral, he's very good in the pocket, has pocket awareness, very good pocket passer, good intangibles, great ball placement, and has a really good IQ. And as you saw from this year at Notre Dame, he's just on the up and up, and he was really solid this year, really big this year for him. I feel like he can be a nice, like, at the next level, just a nice game manager, come in there, do his job, can win you a couple games as a spot starter early on, and it could potentially, depending on the right situation, get uplifted by the supporting cast around him and turn into a starter. See like a Taylor Heineke type, or you know Davis Mills type. Just come in there and kind of get uplifted by the supporting cast around him and be a solid player. And it would surprise me if he ended up being, a lower level starter on the team somewhere. But I do like Jack Cohn a lot. All right, so coming in number 5 on the list, we got Carson Strong. Carson Strong is a QB out of Nevada. Um, Really solid QB prospect. I like him. I feel like he is one of these guys that is kind of pro ready in my eyes. I really like his arm strength, his arm talent. He has a really strong arm. Uh, Really good pass accuracy, really good ball placement on like a lot of back shoulder throws. He has really good ball placement, and he throws with precision and timing on like a lot of like routes. He's throwing the receivers open. That's something that you want to see. Um, yeah, and he's really solid. He's really smart. You just tell he has like a lot of the good intangibles that you need as a quarterback. Um, I feel like he's like a guy. He's like what you see is what you get. He's like I feel like the ceiling isn't really that high for Carson Strong. But like I said, I feel like he's very, very solid, very ready. I'm not gonna say very ready, but I feel like he could play. He's somebody who can play at an early age, early on in his NFL career. And yeah, I feel like put in the right situation, he's somebody that can kind of elevate his game just in the right situation with like the right staff. But that's with same with you can say the same like a lot of quarterbacks. But I do like Carson Strong a lot, and as you can see, my pro comparison for him is Kirk Cousins, a guy who a solid QB. He's not gonna win you the games, not gonna lose you the games. He's gonna be Kirk Cousins. He's not gonna win the big games. But he's not gonna lose the big games. It's gonna be just a solid QB. He's gonna do his job. Um, like I said, with the weapons around him, can exceed expectations sometimes, but then also it can just like be just average, and that's pretty much kind of how I see Carson Strong. That's kind of like what his ceiling is for me. He's just a guy which you know what you're getting with him. You know what you're getting with Kirk Cousins. You're getting a solid quarterback. You're not getting like a elite quarterback. You're not getting a below average quarterback. Like a very low level quarterback. You're getting just an average type of guy. And that's what I think Carson Strong can and will be at the next level. And the floor for him, I have is Kyle Allen, another guy who has really good arm strength. He's right now he's the backup for the Washington football team. He can be a spot starter. He can play some pretty decent games. Whenever he's given the opportunity, but he's not going to wow you or anything. He's not going to be a head beater. He's just going to be just an average guy, spot starter, and that's like the floor for me for Carson Strong. Be a spot starter type of guy, come in and play pretty good, win you a couple games, like can do the job while the QB your starter is hurt or something like that. That's probably the floor for me for Carson Strong. So other than that, I feel like he's a solid guy, and you kind of know what you're getting with him. Coming in number 4 on the board on my rankings, we got Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder is a guy who I actually liked last year. I think I had him at number 5 last year in that class, and now he's came up a little bit to number 4 in this class. I feel like he is a very intriguing prospect in the fact that he has a pretty good mobility, really good actually athlete. But one of the biggest knocks for him is just the accuracy. Um, he tends to be high with throws, and he's not just accurate all the time. That's one of the big knocks for him. Um, Another thing that I saw last year was like his decision making at times, and just where he's going with the ball and him being late on certain throws. It's something that I want to see him clean up coming in this year, and he did. I did see, I definitely saw improvements in his game from last year to this year. One thing that I saw, like I said, was just better decision making. He made some, just better reads. He wasn't really late with like a lot of passes that like I saw last year, and he wasn't really forcing the ball in a lot of areas like I saw last year. Like I said, he's always going to have the athletic ability, but for the most part, he wants to win in the pocket before he just takes off and run. He wants to win, with his arm before he just takes off and beats you with his legs. And I really like that. I really like that. He was trying to make strides in his game to, better himself as a player and as a prospect. Um, but yeah, my pro comparison for him is Ryan Tannehill. I feel like there's a lot of similarities there. Obviously, Tannehill is you know improved since he was on the Dolphins, and I kind of see the similar things in Ridder's game that I see in Tannehill with the big arm and mobility and stuff like that. And on the contrary, the guy who Tannehill's spot he took is the floor that I have for Desmond Ritter and Marcus Mariota. A guy who, like I said, if Ritter at his floor, I feel like, he could be like a Mariota type player where he just simply relies on his legs and, athletic ability and doesn't really come together as a passer, isn't reading the defense well. That's something that Mariota kind of struggled with back in his days with the Titans. Wasn't really, you know, taking his game to the next level. Kind of was just kind of stopped progressing. And but I do think Desmond Ritter has all the ability to continue to grow and to elevate his game and to get to that kind of upper echelon of his ceiling. Just like I want to continue to see him developing as a passer with his accuracy and ball placement. And I know a lot of people not know for the Alabama game, but I actually like what I saw in the Alabama game. He wasn't really forcing anything. He wasn't really trying to be a hero. He was, trying to take what the defense was giving him. The batted balls was an issue for sure. He had like a lot of batted balls in the game, but he really wasn't, trying to be a hero, force the ball into places. He was taking what the defense gave him. It wasn't like a lot of big time throws to be made because, Alabama just had a team on lock, but he did make a couple big time passes. One of them that was amazing was a wheel route to the running back that he put it right in the basket, but the running back just couldn't hold on to it. So I did see some good things from Ritter, and I think he's a solid prospect, and I do think he's a fringe first rounder. I say like late first round, early second round, the latest for Desmond Ritter. But I like Ritter. I feel like he's gonna. If he continue, I feel he needs time to develop. He gets time to develop. He will, develop into a nice player. I think so at the next level. Coming in number 3 on my board is Sam Howell. Sam Howell is somebody who coming into the season was touted as the guy, the number one QB prospect, if not number 2 on most people board. And yeah, he took a little fall this year, because of just bad play. But I'm somebody who isn't as hard on Sam Howell as everybody else is. I feel like with Sam Howell, he was really good last year because of the situation he had. He had 2 elite running backs, second round, third round picks, I think, and are doing good in the league now. And Sam Howell was asked to put a lot on his plate this year. He had to be the leading rusher on the team almost, and at least if not the leading rusher, he was the best rusher for that team with how physical he ran the ball this year. On the contrary, man, he took a lot of hits this year, man. He took so many hits, a lot of unnecessary hits that, that's something that in my mind, I just don't want to see Sam Howell taking all these hits, especially if you're going to be a franchise guy at the next level. But, if you go back and look at the tape his freshman year, go back and look at the tape his sophomore year, you see the things that, made you like Sam Howell. You see the ball placement, the deep ball accuracy, the accuracy on intermediate to short throws, getting the ball out in timing. He's a very rhythm passer. When he gets in that rhythm, he's very good. He's very streaky. But the one thing that stuck out to me a lot about Sam Howell this year was his toughness. Man played with toughness, played with grit. He was asked to do a lot. And, early on, like I said, the previous 2 years, he wasn't asked to carry the team. He had very good players around him, receivers, running backs. He didn't have to carry the team. He was just out there playing point guard, just, spreading the wealth and, just living behind a good running game. Didn't have to do much. This year, the running game's not there. Offensive line, the protection's not how it used to be. And he had to shoulder a lot of weight, so you seen the trajectory for Sam Howell just went down as his years went on. So, freshman, sophomore year, it went up. It went up from freshman and sophomore went up. Then coming in this year, it went down. But like I said, he had to shoulder a lot of weight this year and really carry his team. So I take that with a grain of salt. I like Sam Howell as a football player, as a QB prospect. He's different from Matt Corral because he's just not out there looking to run. Like, and I can see the decisions where he's making, very good QB decisions and QB IQ plays, and I see the intangibles. So I do like Sam Howell. And my pro comparison with him is Baker Mayfield. He looks like Baker Mayfield through and through, the good and the bad. Um, I really do think the play styles are very similar. The arm talent, his arm strength is probably better than Baker Mayfield, but everything is very similar to that. And also, my floor for him is Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield now. So I think that's pretty funny because Baker Mayfield now is playing like ass. So uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like Sam Howell, and I think like I said, with the right situation, you see Sam Howell flourish. If he doesn't have to really be the guy, carry the team, you can see Sam Howell flourish. But the thing is, we saw him do that this year, and so he can do it. It's just not going to be, good. Like he doesn't need to go to a situation like Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson where he's going to nothing. Put Sam Howell in a situation like Mac Jones where he goes to the good organization with a really good run game. He's just played through the system, play within himself. Sam Howell he'll do his job. He'll be nice. He'll be decent. He'll be really good. He'll be really good at just doing his job, playing within himself. So that's my spiel with Sam Howell. He's number 3 on my board. I'd love to see him go to a good situation, and I think he will flourish if he goes to a good situation. Coming in at number 2 on the board, we got Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's a guy who had a tremendous season. We saw the meteoric rise of Kenny Pickett, and it's steady going up. It's a guy who coming into the season, a lot of people didn't pay to be, one of the top guys. He probably would have been like, a 4th round guy coming into the season, maybe 5th, something like that. And like I said, now he's shot up to, 1st round for sure. Lock 1st round, unless, horrible pre-draft. But yeah, man, you see the tools with Kenny Pickett. You see the accuracy, you see the ball placement, you see the pretty decent arm strength, not the best in the class, but pretty decent. But you see all the other intangibles, the awareness, the athletic ability, make smart plays. He's a really solid guy. He's not gonna wow you or anything, but he's really good. He's really solid. Really took his game to the next level this year. And that's one thing you want to see with like the elite, with the top guys in the class. You want to see them take the game to the next level. Sam Howell didn't. Sam Howell, kind of didn't. He kind of regressed a little bit. As on the flip end, Kenny Pickett, trajectory went up. He elevated his game this year, elevated his team, won a bowl game. If I'm not mistaken, were they ACC champions? Am I not mistaken? Yeah, I think they were ACC champions this year. So, yeah, Kenny Pickett, really took off this year. And then my comparison for him is a low-level Justin Herbert. Not only just he kind of looks like him, but I feel like I see similarities in the game with the mobility and with the ability to make some big-time throws and big-time moments. And, just the intangibles that they bring to the game. This reminds me a lot of Justin Herbert. He has some Justin Herbert in his game. Not meteoric rise Justin Herbert now. Like don't think of like, the Justin Herbert that we see now or the Justin Herbert that we saw this rookie year. Like to some extent, like a lower level Justin Herbert would be the pro comparison for me. And the floor for me would be like a Derek Carr, a guy who has like a lot of ability, can make some boneheaded plays, but has a lot of ability, is a really good, solid quarterback, and as he led his team to the playoffs this year, can make some really big time throws. So yeah, man, I like Kenny Pickett, solid prospect, number 2 on my board. I think he's going to be a big time contributor as he progresses throughout his years in the NFL. Like I said, you saw it took 4 years for him to kind of really hit his stride in college, and I feel like depending on the situation he goes into, he could have success early on, but it might take him a little, some time to really, hit the ground. But I think Kenny Pickett, man, he's solid. I think, I can reassuredly say, he'll be a solid starter. Might not ever hit elite status QB, but he'll be a nice, mid-tier starting quarterback in this league. So That's what I got for Kenny Pickett. And yeah, he's number 2. Coming in number 1 on the board. Number 1 on the board, we got the Malik Willis. And I know this is gonna be very controversial, man, because a lot of people either love Malik Willis or they don't like him. They even have him high on their boards, or they have him at the lower level of their board for their prospect rankings. And I'm one of the ones that really like Malik Willis. I really like him as a player, like him as a QB prospect. I think his ceiling is far beyond any quarterback in this class, and he has all the intangibles, man. He has the awareness, the pocket presence, pretty decent accuracy. He can work on accuracy, but he has the arm strength, the arm talent. He can make any throw on the field, and yeah, man. Like I said, a lot of knocks on him is going to be, like I said, just the accuracy and the competition level, and like a lot of people gonna dig apart. They're gonna just dig in and dig apart of some of his stats that he had this year, where there was like, oh, he had a whole bunch of bad throws or turnover worthy plays and stuff like that. And the thing everybody got to keep in mind when looking at and evaluating Malik Willis is that he's playing with this low level competition. So, he feels like he has to just, do, and he does. He has to do everything to win the game for those guys pretty much. He has to be the best guy on the field, which he is a lot of the times, but he has to be the best guy on the field. He has to make the game winning play almost all the time because, he's just trying to win the game. I've seen plays, I watched film with this guy where, he's putting the ball right on the receivers and they're dropping them. Or, as soon as the ball is snapped, he has 4 guys in his face. And, he's just surrounded and he's just escaping the pocket, man. The dude was like Houdini. He literally is like Houdini. It's crazy to watch, man. This dude is a polarizing prospect. I know, like I said, some people are going to love him. Some people are going to hate him, but he's just different, man. He's a different type of guy, a special type of guy. When you watch the tape, you watch the film, it's just like, it pops off the tape, bro. It's like, man, this guy is amazing. Like, I watched the game against Ole Miss where he went against Matt Corral, and people ripped him apart for that game because he had 3 picks or whatever. I saw that game and I was like sold. I was like, he's that guy, even with the 3 picks, because 2 of them weren't really on him. One of them was him in the game trying to force, a throw to keep him in the game. But I saw this guy under constant duress from the moment the ball was snapped, making plays, breaking, getting out of stuff. I don't know how he got out of it, and just being crazy type of athlete, special type of player, man. And I was sold, and I watched the film, and it was consistent all throughout on the film, man. These guys just pops off the film, and like I said, for my pro comparison, he's in between Lamar and Kyler for me, because like Lamar is like agile, Lamar is like speed, agile, shifty, all that. Like Lamar is amazing, Kyler is quick. It's like a different type of agile. It's quick. He just get in and go. He just gets the ball and pressure coming, he can just get up and go. Scoot, he just be scooting. Malik Willis is more like twitchy. Dude's like twitchy in the pocket, like in a good way, if he's under duress, somebody like it should be a sack. The dude just twitch, just miss him and just just extreme twitchiness and agility, man, is crazy, man. And I really, like I said, it's in between them, man. It's like honestly, he's very close to Mike Vick, very close to Mike Vick. And the floor for me, I didn't really have a floor because I don't really know. I just put Tyler Huntley because I guess that could be the floor for him. But I feel like the floor is Malik Willis. Like, the floor is whatever, he makes his floor, whatever it will be if he doesn't reach his potential. If he doesn't, progress and reach that notch. But all said, man, I really think he is the guy. I think he is that guy. He's a special type of guy, man. And I think he's number 1 QB in his class. He might not be the most pro ready, even though I feel like you can put him out there and he'll go out there and he'll have success. He's gonna have to, take his lumps. I said it all comes with, the right situation that he's in though. he's gonna take his lumps no matter what. But you know, some lumps will be greater if he's in a worse situation. Some lumps will be better, worse if he's, or vice versa. I said it wrong, but yeah, man. I like Malik Willis. He's a different type of cat. I think he's number one QB in his class. He brings a lot to the table, man. And these are my top five, man. It's my top rankings from 5 to 1, 1 to 5. You got them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna close out this video. Leave a like on it, man, if you enjoy this type of stuff. I'm gonna be pushing out some more NFL draft content. Let me know in the comments what positions you want to see next. If you have any teams in mind you want me to do some top prospects for teams to be looking at. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, true and true. So I'm gonna be putting out some stuff for the Carolina Panthers with draft prospects that they should be paying attention to. If you want some underrated guys to be looking at, I can drop an underrated guys list. But other than that, man, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you thought I did on this video. First one I ever dropped, so I'm down for all the ridicule, all the words of advice, compliments, anything. And subscribe to the channel, man, for real. Like, it's gonna be a lot of content coming out, and I'm excited. And yeah, man, look forward to it. Without further ado, peace.